got one of the most outspoken critics and scientists against the new religion of global warming and global carbon tax. That's coming up in the next segment. Let's continue with your phone calls here. Let's go ahead and talk to Ingrid in Nevada. Ingrid, you're on the air. Welcome worldwide.
Hello, Alex. I wanted to ask you something. My friend made some Obama choker posters yesterday, and they say, wanted for bank robbery. What is your opinion on that?
I think it's pure genius. I think it's pure genius, and you've actually hit upon my next contest. I want to keep the Friday because I need more time to watch. I have to be fair and watch the literally hundreds of videos. I've watched a lot of them, but as fast as I watch them, more are coming into the inbox. They're just incredible. We've got to also get them all posted on one page or a group of pages so they load quickly. And the next
I watched a lot of them.
Awesome. The next contest is going to be for the best new term or slogan. And we're going to post different slogans, different people's Photoshop jokers of Obama. My graphics lady made an unbelievably good one of Bush, if people want to do that. This is bipartisan. We are exposing these puppets for what they are, but Obama is the big puppet right now that has the whole New World Order train hooked up to his engine. So we're and when they said 2 weeks ago it's racist and bad to put these up, I said put more of them up because it's a First Amendment. Do it in legal and lawful areas. That's why we did the contest, because they were demonizing people, calling him a socialist. And MSNBC and CNN said it is the N-word to say socialist. No, Hitler was a National Socialist. It's not the N-word to say Hugo Chavez is a socialist or Obama wants to socialize healthcare. It's the truth. And so this politically correct assault on free speech, they know it's not racist to say socialist. They cold-bloodedly want to win their political takeover of 20% of the economy that's left that government doesn't control. But that's a great idea. The picture of Obama, wanted for bank robbery. Great idea. Wanted for being a puppet of the New World Order.
Right on, Alex, and I'm going to help him put it out today.
All right, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. Yeah, listen, folks, you don't have to put out our posters. You know, it's a First Amendment. The power of the people, not just going to town halls, but calling into talk radio, letters to the editor, starting blogs, commenting on comment pages, going out and standing on a street corner with a sign with a message, putting up, little printouts with a message. We're going to do one against the flu shot about, think twice, or, flu shot causes brain damage. And then we'll have links under it to the Associated Press reporting on it. We want to warn. We're not going to just sit here and take it anymore. This is about standing up. Nick in Florida, you're on the air, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Good, buddy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm really worried this fall about my son. He's 7, and I just dread picking him up from school. And he tells me he got stuck with a shot or something, or that nasal injection, flu mist that they have.
Oh man, that's the one. Those aerosolized ones. Do not let them have that.
Right. So basically, I just wanted to say, what physical response do you think Americans would have if that happens? Would that literally start riots, or
yes?
How outraged would Americans be?
Yes. Now, notice the Army's training for us rioting, wanting the shots. That's a psyop. They know, and they admit, the CDC does, it's going to be riots, not wanting it. We've played these internal phone conferences the CDC's doing with different emergency managers where they're admitting that. They know the people don't want it. They know there's 20%, 30% that are total idiots and would walk into a gas chamber, they were told to or run into a pit. They could see Hitler lower down, but as long as the media said worship him, they'd put little mustaches on and start bowing down. But they know 60, 70% are awake now. And so they are planning to order compulsory shots in the fall, and they're going to use the captive audiences of the public schools and the captive audiences of government buildings and nurses and police and military and firemen. They're going to try to make first responders take it. But they already refused in 2002. Remember that with the Model States Health Emergency Powers Act. They want to make the enforcers do it first to make us. But police and firemen are already refusing across the country. Nurses unions are already refusing. So I see it kind of failing. But it's another beta test So next time we'll give in. See, they just keep trying and gaining more ground each time. That's why instead of just sitting here taking it, we've got to launch our own InfoWar offensives to say no to their system. We've got to stop just defending. We've got to get offensive on them in the InfoWar and take back ground, which we've been doing. We've been doing it with federal court rulings on the Second Amendment and states' rights. We're on the march. The empire is on the run. But no, they're going to have a bunch of hysteria and tell you they're about to vaccinate them and, try to get you to run in fear to go do it. In most schools, in some schools, they're going to do beta test, and we've caught them in hospitals as well, giving newborn babies shots when the parents say no. So that's up to you, sir.
Oh, okay, but I mean, do they have a legal right to just sneak and do it? Like,
No. And you need to send a letter to the school nurse and the principal, or go in nicely and say, hey, look, I'm sure you've heard. Here's AP, here's, the German news, the British news about brain damage. This shot brain damaging and killing people. I just wanted to educate you first. By the way, appreciate what you did with the school, blah, blah, blah. Be a politician about it. But then say, by the way, here's a letter. Put this in the file. My son is not to be vaccinated or given any other medical care, without my consent. You understand? And that's already law. See, they're trying to set the precedent to ignore the law now. They're trying to create new precedent just to do whatever they want. Just like the eugenicists 90 years ago just started grabbing kids off the street and sterilizing them. They didn't have a law. They just created new fake courts and did it, and people then got mad in the 40s and said no, so they had to back off and just start doing it by other covert means, like the White House science czar says, by putting it in vaccines in the water. You understand?
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Alex. God bless you.
God bless you. Yeah, I mean, with this government's history of giving black men syphilis through the shots and Tuskegee and radiating the Native Americans and radiating the troops and testing chemical weapons on our troops and all the things they've done, all the testing, all the foster children being radiated, to death. With this whole history of this stuff going on, why would we trust anything the establishment says or does? Why would we take any shots they push on us? And, I mean, look at this here. I mean, I just read you the Mail on Sunday. Swine flu jab linked to killer nerve disease in test in the U.S. has killed over 25 people in test. And this is secretly going on, and the U.S. government is secretly telling doctors this is killing people, but keep it quiet. Keep giving them the shots. Killing people. Here's another one. Polio surge in Nigeria after vaccine virus mutates. AP, they admit the polio shots giving people polio. Here's Bild.de, biggest newspaper in Germany. Live cancer viruses in the vaccines. Look, whether you're for or against vaccines isn't the issue. The issue is these cloned stem cell line high-tech vaccines. It used to take 6 to 9 months to make a vaccine the old-fashioned way. Now they do it by cloning the virus. And then the stuff they breed it up in, the dead fetal tissue, the dead monkeys, the dead dogs, the dead humans, has got all these other viruses and RNA and DNA, and it gets all mixed in and is very, very serious. We're going to go to break and come back with our guest. We're very, very excited to have him on with us, joining us very early in the morning from the land down under. And we're going to get into a host of important issues dealing with global man-made climate change. If you believe in that, I've got a bridge I want to sell you on the moon. Global warming is the new religion of first world urban elites is the Vancouver Sun headline. That's a quote from our guest that's coming up after the break. Geologist Ian Plimer takes a contrary view, arguing that man-made climate change is a con trick perpetrated by environmentalists. But see, that's a con trick right there. It's not a contrarian view. 37,000 scientists a few months ago sent testimony to the Congress saying that man-made global warming is a fraud, that it's almost all sun-driven, and also ions from space form the nuclei for clouds, so just space radiation, and that the moons of Saturn and Jupiter were melting, now have refrozen, that the polar ice caps of Mars were getting smaller, now we're getting bigger again. It's the sun. But see, they call that contrary.